Shalom. I want to give all the praise, all the glory, all the honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. Double honors goes out to the elder apostles of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth. Also, I want to acknowledge Allah Akyam, who are pushing the truth with sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, Shalom to the elect. All right, James in the 3rd chapter, the 1st verse, it says, "My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. For in many things we offend all. If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man and able also to bridle the whole body." Going into controlling our spirit, So we should be able to control our spirit. It says let's see. Let me get this real quick. He that controls his spirit in this Proverbs 16 and 32. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. Right, so controlling our spirit is a powerful thing, Slow to anger, because you're going to have heathen, you're going to be around the 2/3, and it's easy to get angry at these people, right? We're vexed in the middle of them, right in the midst of all the abominations that, we're right in the middle of all that. So it's easy to get anger, but it's also it's a blessing and a power to be able to control our spirit, So just because we're around all these wicked things, we still gotta, move like as wise as serpent and harmless as doves, like it's written. Okay, James 3 and 3, it says, "Behold, we must put bits in the horses' mouths, that they may obey us, and we turned about their whole body. Behold also the ships, which though they may be so great, and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth. Even so the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth." Right, and that's the other thing, controlling our words, controlling our tongue. Like we always say, preaching sound doctrine, right? What defiles a man is what comes out his mouth, rather than what goes in his mouth, right? And not to get it twisted, it doesn't mean you can eat whatever you want and eat the abominable foods. But the point being is that it's more of a violation to teach and go off, than things like it says, what goes in your mouth. Let me grab that real quick. All right, let's see, Matthew. The point being, we want to stick to sound doctrine, teaching sound doctrine. Matthew 15 and 18, it says, "But those things which proceed out of the mouth come forth from the heart, and they defile the man." You see? So what comes out of your mouth comes from your heart, which is your mind, which is the mind is where the spirit dwells, right? So you don't want to lead people wrong in the spirit. And what comes out of your mouth, that's what's going to defile you if you're teaching the wrong thing. James 3 and 6. "And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body, and setteth on fire the course of nature, and it setteth on fire, and is set on fire of hell." Right, so you get the point, the power of the tongue, man. The tongue, you can defile yourself with the tongue, and eventually defile the whole body if you're not rebuked, or if you're not rebuking brothers who are speaking, wrongfully. Verse 7, for every kind of beasts and of birds and of serpents and of things in the sea is tamed and hath been tamed of mankind, but the tongue can no man tame. It is unruly. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison. See how powerful the tongue is. You know, there's actually a scripture. Let's see. Let me see. Slovakia. Yeah, this is the verse I was looking for. Ecclesiasticus 20 and 18, it says, to slip upon a pavement is better to slip with the tongue, so the fall of the wicked shall come speedily. Right. So you're better off slipping it on the pavement than slipping with your tongue. And you know, it's actually spiritual because last week I was coming down some stairs and I stepped on some like black ice and I slipped, man, and basically did the splits and smacked the shit out of my knee. And it just, this verse just brought that into remembrance, you know. It's better to do what I did, you know, and stretch out my hamstring and pull my groin and smack my knee than to speak wrongfully, you know, than to teach wrong, false doctrine. You see, that's what's defiled. You see? So, let me see. James 3. Yeah, I fucked my knee up. That it's still sore. James 3 and let's see. 9. It says, Therewith bless we the Most High, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of the Most High. Right, so that's how powerful the tongue is. You can bless yourself or you can curse yourself by the things you say. You see? If we're out here teaching unsound doctrine, man, you're going to curse yourself. Eventually, the Most High is going to put you down, right? Let's get it. Like these false prophets, man, they're annoying as hell. I call them false TikTok prophets. There's a flood of false prophets on the TikTok, right? And let me get this. Let me see. All right, so it's right here. Titus 1 and 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers, meaning useless talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. So even our people are it says, especially of the they of the circumcision, which are our own people, the house of Israel, are out there teaching, violating this rule, defiling themselves with their own tongues, speaking false doctrines, you got a lot of Jake, man. Even in 2024, you got a lot of Jake pushing, the white Jesus, and which is fucking madness, right? We're this far in the prophecies, and you still have Jake pushing that white Jesus, man. It's crazy. But let me restart over. 10, Titus 1 and 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. Right? And some of these people, yeah, they're actually making money off of wickedness, preaching false doctrines. Any church set up in Babylon, America, is guilty of this. Because all the churches in Babylon, America, are pushing that white Jesus, right? The majority of them. And they're making money, right? To get tithes. The people are dumbed down. They're in darkness. So they give those vain talkers, those unruly speakers, they literally giving them money. And that's what filthy lucre's sake is. You making money off the Lord's word. And to boot, you're not only making money, but you're out there teaching lies and pushing a totally false doctrine. That's why Yahweh says whose mouths must be stopped. All right. And being in this truth, the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we cannot fucking wait until your mouths get stopped, man. Because we're tired of hearing all the all the bullshit, all the madness. We are sick and tired of that, man. Starting out with our elders on down. Let me go James 3 and 11. Doth a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter? Can a fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either a vine figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh. Right. So you can't be double-minded. You can't. You can't. Like it says here, you can't yield salt water and fresh water. A fountain won't be able to do that. Verse 12. I'm sorry, 13. Who is as a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. Right. Make sure, when men in the camp are speaking, we're speaking correctly. You see? With meekness of wisdom. And who inherits the kingdom? The meek. Who learns this knowledge and this truth? The meek. The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai gives this understanding to the meek. But verse 14, but if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. The wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. Right, so if you're envying and you're in the camps envying brothers in your hearts or in your mind, you're not glorifying, and lie not against the truth. See? And that's not wisdom from up above. That's not godly wisdom. That's you in your flesh, So we have to create sound, when we go out there, not create, that's the wrong word. When we go out there and teach, we have to, teach sound doctrine, teach the correct, break down the scriptures correctly, And if you're envying your brother, then guess what? That's coming from the earthly, that's that flesh, devilish, like it says right here. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work. Right. That's why we always got to know the state of the flocks. We got to know the state of the men in the camp. Make sure we address that. Sometimes at the end of the camp, the camp leader will say, hey, if any brother's got any issues or any beefs or any concerns or tensions with the brotherhood, address it now. Address it to this man's face to face, like a man. And this way we avoid all of these, basically sins. It's a sinful thing for you to be having devilish thoughts or envying or strifing against your own brother. See? Verse 17, but the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. Right. So when you know the state of your flocks, and when you brothers, like I said, there's been times when brothers have, the head of the camp will say, hey, let brothers know if anybody's got issues with brothers, or because you don't want to turn a molehill into a mountain, because those kind of things can happen even within the brotherhood. Because you got to understand, Satan is always going to be there to try to attack the spiritual demon Satan, right? He's going to attack brothers, right? So we always got to be on our best game. We always got to be ready to endure, ready to to conquer those wicked thoughts or those wicked perversions that we're in the flesh, so we're men, we're not perfect, but we can't just ignore things. You have to acknowledge them, and it starts out with if you're speaking wrongly,